Kia ora, my kick-off crew. It is fantastic Thursday, tracksuit Thursday, in fact. Now, the sizzle is back to give some intelligence and integrity to the couch, so let's go get it.
Coming up tonight on Kickoff, it's Matariki, the annual Māori New Year's celebrations, and fittingly we'll be talking about a constellation of stars. There's galactic battles right across the field. It doesn't get better than two All Black playmakers in a duel. It's Beauden Barrett against Richie at 10. Jordan Taufua plays his 100th match for the Crusaders. We get down to business and compare the cluster of forwards. Plus, we get lucky with Brent Hall joining us live as we count down to Super Saturday's semi-finals. And New Year, new ferns. We navigate the 23 to take on Canada in the Super Series this weekend. And as always, surprises, dad jokes and some questionable chat. Let's kick it off.
Kia pai, tau tātou, Matariki. Happy Māori New Year's. It is Matariki and it is great to have you on the show. Now we're celebrating the semi-finals of the big show. It is almost here and we've got Carlton Arnott back on the show who says he's bringing intelligence, but I think he's bringing more like his pyjamas.
No, it's Tracksuit Thursday.
Tracksuit Thursday, but no one else got the memo.
Vibe, eh?
Next time, let us all know.
Look after the brothers.
Nothing wrong with the jammies.
Hey, thanks so much for coming on the show. It's great to have you here.
Kia ora,
Big news today, though, and that is Colin Cooper. He stepped down from his position with the Chiefs for the next year. Mills, thoughts?
Oh, well, you know, obviously he's got another year left, but the review process, you know, it's particularly from last year, perhaps was the thing that sort of got him. So, you know, he's obviously sort of thought, you know, it's time to go and, you know, obviously reflect on the year and spend some time with his family.
The questions now is probably what's next for Colin Cooper, and well, his son may have broken the news on social media. He took to Twitter, Brad Cooper right there, saying that if Ian Foster gets the coach of the All Blacks later this year, then his dad's going to join him. Broken the news early. So have you done anything on social media?
Oh, is that what he's up to now, is he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Is there anything you've done on social media that you maybe shouldn't have?
I've done heaps of things, but you used to be able to get away with it. Now it's a little bit PC. You've got to be careful in what you say because everyone gets offended, but it used to be pretty cool.
Twitter gets quite dark though, eh, sometimes.
Yeah.
It's an angry place.
Yeah.
Hey.
Have you had some hate? You've been roasted?
Yeah, all the time.
You just don't use it right. If you're a nice person, people are nice to you.
If you're nice and if you're humble.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Okay.
humble pies, eh?
Well, we move on now to your weekend. Clear the schedule on Saturday because it is all on. You've got the Black Ferns going on this weekend against Canada, but then you've got the two semi-finals of Super Rugby. The Jaguares taking on the Brumbies. That's live from 11 a.m. before the Crusaders take on the Hurricanes. 7 p.m. Saturday night from Christchurch. It is going to be a bumper match, and that's why it's our big game. This is the sixth time that these two teams have met in the playoffs, and unfortunately for the Hurricanes, well, every single game has gone to the Crusaders so far. 5 knockout matches. They've also won the last 4 Super Rugby games between the two sides. But there's a lot of star power on both teams. 24 All Blacks in these team lists. The Crusaders, they have been unchanged this time, and their forward pack is completely All Blacks or capped players other than Fetu Douglas. That's massive for this guy.
Yeah, and he's going extremely well. He went over to Italy. He was in the squad in 2017. He was going extremely well, and then he, unfortunately, before he made the Crusaders, he signed for an Italian team. He went over there with his family, didn't really enjoy it, and then Scotty got in touch with him. He's come back and he's kept a guy like Jordy Taufua out, which is no mean feat in itself. So yeah, he's playing extremely well, and it's great for him.
If we take a look at the backs, well, TJ Perenara in jersey number 9, he is going to become the most capped Hurricanes player ever this weekend. 127 appearances, surpassing some of your former teammates.
Yeah, he passes Conrad Ama'a, but he's... You know, when you look at Hurricanes, there's been some greats, but he is influential to this Hurricanes team. You know, like I spoke about it last week, you take that kid out or Beauden out, they're in trouble. So he's a good man, competitive too, very...
Yeah.
Very yap.
Okay, here is your reserves for the weekend. Interesting there via Fafita. He's back after being suspended. He'll make a big impact.
100% he will. You know, he's got the experience coming off the bench, been an All Black, been in a championship winning team. So I think the bench is going to probably make or break both of these sides.
Okay, well, we have to go on to the big matchup now. Otherwise, we're going to run out of time on the show. But people, they've been talking about it for the last year, the last 2 years even. It's the battle of the All Black first fives. Beauden Barrett taking on Richie Mo'unga. That's you.
Yeah, well, I'm very lucky I get a front seat row to seeing Richie operate week in, week out. What I love about him is his leadership. He's come a long way from that young kid when he started, taking over from DC, Colin Slade. He's a real leader in the environment. He talks up, he runs most of the meetings, and he's hungry. He's hungry to be the best, and he's playing extremely well, Millsy. He's up against a quality first five.
Well, he is, and you talk about how he's really started to lead now. Well, you know, Beauden's done the same, but of anything, he's really got experience now. He hasn't played much this year, which I like. You know, he's actually starting to come into a little bit of form, so he's an absolute threat. But his combination, especially with TJ Perenara, has got to be fluent in order for these guys to win.
Well, Ronan O'Gara spoke about Beauden Barrett being a world-class player during the week. He said there's no doubt about that, but he talked about cutting down the time and the space that he has the ball. If we look at the stats right there, 123 kicks in play compared to Richie Mo'unga's 81. But the Crusaders, they may take that space away from him.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously he's the only one kicking apart from Geordie and Bodie. I mean, and TJ, because Nani and Maddie and the centres, they don't really kick. Wingers don't kick. So, but Bodie doesn't like line speed. You've seen it with the All Blacks where he doesn't, I'm not saying he doesn't like it, but he struggles against it. So where Mo'unga, he's got a bit more of a lateral sidestep, so he can get away with it a little bit more than Bodie can. So he needs his outside backs, his Nanis and that, to get the ball and take it forward and relieve some of that pressure.
Every time these two go against each other, there's always who played better. It's always in the media, it's always what's talked about. And then comes the conversation of, so who should be the All Blacks' first five?
Yeah, well, I think the thing is going forward, I mean, obviously Bodie's going to get the rubber green first and foremost, being the incumbent. He's two-time World Player of the Year, you can't forget that. So I think Nani Lamapi might have got shut out last week. I think it's going to be a different story. It's going to lay the platform for Bodie. And guys such as Bodie, they know what's going on in the chatter, and they can feel the likes of Mo'unga's coming to take their spot. So it just elevates into another level. So really looking forward to that clash.
Well, we're going to elevate the show to another level.
Segue.
There were so many quality players on show this weekend that we couldn't pick who to talk about. So we've come up with a new game. It's darts. CJ, you're up first.
Yeah.
All the numbers on the darts board, we've scrambled them up for the different players. It's the Crusaders first.
There's already a dart on there. Just
You tell us the number and I'll tell you who we're talking
bullseye.
about.
Yep. Job done. Oh,
job done.
What was
20. 20.
20. 20's Jack Goodhue.
Oh, Joe Dirt.
So we'll talk about anything except this here because we seem to talk about that every weekend. But what sort of impact has he had on the Crusaders this season?
Oh, he's been playing well for the last few seasons, and he deserved his call up to the ABs. Like I spoke about a few weeks, what I love about him, he just does the hard stuff. He's like a Conrad Smith, doesn't mind tackling, just real good work ethic, work rate, gets off the ground. And you need those guys in your team, especially in the back line. And he's got a great relationship with Crotty as well. They kind of complement each other.
Yeah, why do those two work so well together as a combination?
I think you mentioned it. They're both really good workers, you know. Jack Goodhue, but every now and then we've seen a little bit of that skill factor that he has. He can also kick grubber through the line. Why do they work so hard together? Because they just understand. They understand each other's play. So I'm looking forward to how Jack Goodhue goes this weekend. You're off. You're away. I don't want to get on to
He's up and at it. He ready to go. Who's got?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, start again.
That's the board.
Yeah.
That's the board, did you?
555.
Five. Five is Kieran Reid.
Kieran Reid.
So we're going for the All Blacks captain this weekend. He's getting stronger and stronger every week, isn't he? As close as it's getting closer to the All Blacks, and he's stepping up more and more.
I think the big game is where Rito really stands out. You know, he does all those hard yards. I watched him last year when he came back from injury. He was the first one making some mean yards. So I think that's what he sort of brings.
And his running game as well.
Yeah.
He's running a lot more off the back of the ruck. He's getting the ball off nines early. He wants to carry hard. And like I said before, I've seen him in the environment. He's just got experience. You know, he's been around for a while. Millsy, he's experienced campaigner.
Who's more important to this team, Sam Whitelock or Kieran Reid?
Is he?
Is he?
Hey, come on, you're right in there, mate.
Say it. Say it.
They're both pretty important.
Just like Mills.
That's on the fence, Ace.
All right.
Fence. Okay, you're up.
I'm going to go for 19.
19, you reckon?
Oh, 7.
7. Jordan Taufua.
Oh.
Number 7, Jordan Taufua. It's a very special weekend for Jordan because he's playing his 100th match for the Crusaders, and you can attest to him. He's a real beast, and he epitomises what this team's about.
Oh, mate, he's come down to Canterbury from South Auckland. You know, it's no easy feat coming all that way. And he's playing 100 games. He's the first Pacific Islander for the Crusaders to ever do that. I know you boys might have a giggle at that, but it's an awesome feat.
Why?
What are you talking about?
Well, you had a giggle in the rehearsal. Come on.
I'm just saying there's only been 4 that have played.
But like, I've seen him work every day. I'm just proud of him and gets that opportunity.
Okay, Mills, it's
All right,
your
my
turn. Who have you got?
2. 6.
6.
We are terrible
6.
at darts.
Well, it wasn't 2, but the man that is number 6 is Cody Taylor. It's all about him this week. Well, he's had a wee bit of time off with a broken finger. How do you rate his comeback, KT, over the last few weeks?
Oh, no, it's been awesome. I mean, just look at the way he's able to distribute those balls and obviously loves the sideline. But the way, I think, for me, it's the timing that he injects himself into the play is something that a lot of people underestimate with Cody, and I think that's a really important part of his game.
He's part of a front row club, and they had a front row dinner this week where I think they ordered something like 13 kgs of steak. It was something ridiculous.
They
So he's
ordered
been eating a
13
bit this week.
tomahawk steaks, which are a kilo. So the big boys got to eat. But I'd just like to, him and Colsey, that's going to be a juicy matchup.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on as well.
That's gonna
But
be
let's talk about the halfbacks because we have Brent Hall joining us live from Christchurch. It's great to have you on the show, Brent, especially in semi-finals week. One question I wanted to ask you about the Crusaders, since you guys have dominated for the last 2 years, how does Razor keep you guys humble, keep your feet on the ground in a week like this?
Well, it's a pretty important week, I think. Whenever you're playing the Hurricanes, it's a pretty tough task, and they've been pretty consistent the last 4 or 5 years, and if you don't get it right, you're going to be in for a long day. So Razor's been pretty good around that, and been able to go through our processes and all our homework. So set up pretty nice.
Hey, Brent, how are you, bro? I coached you in the under-16s when you're in your school hall there in St. Peter's. I mean, you've really taken it on what I've taught you, and I'm really proud of where you've got to. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to actually getting this deal with Sup 2 after you've obviously...
Can hook you up, my mate.
Yeah, so, still waiting for it. I know you were in Puma early on when you were coaching me, mate, so it's good to see you've moved up and gone to Sup 2 and supporting New Zealand brands.
Hey, Town, Hall, when teams go and play the Crusaders, I know at this part of the season it's hard to play down there. Is it more so because your ground is slippery, it's like playing on ice, and teams that go down there don't really know how hard it is to play, and you guys have mastered it and other teams haven't? Is that your secret weapon?
Look, KT, I know you're from Wellington, man. You don't really venture down south, but the field
it's KT.
That's the best.
First of all, way better looking than him, can't be KT. Okay.
Go on you, CJ. No, look, it's a tough one for us. I think perception is that it's been quite wet, and it could be wet. It's quite cool down there, but credit to our staff, our fielding staff. They've made the field pretty good the whole year, and it's actually been pretty dry. So it's supposed to be a good night in Christchurch. So hopefully for running rugby, and it's a great spectacle for our fans and on TV as well.
Brent, you walk out of the hallway of the changing rooms and you see the forwards that have been out there for a very long time. How hungry are they in terms of the physicality that's going to come the Hurricanes' way?
Yeah, it's a bit of a cliche that, you've got to win it up front first, but, in finals footy and in football in general, winning it up front is pretty crucial. And it's always a tough encounter. I know the Hurricanes boys will be pretty similar to our forward pack and trying to assert their dominance in that way. But, again, if we can win that, then it sets us up pretty nicely to get a result come for our Saturday night.
Hey, Brent, I can't stop laughing, but...
Yeah, mate, your hair's looking good, Dag. Your hair's looking good, boy.
Thank you, brother. But talk us through yesterday, bro. Tell everyone what you get up to on your day off. Feel the lads get out and hit a few golf balls and just chill out for the day. How'd you go? Talk us through your golf game.
Oh, I think you know, Dagger. That's why you're asking, mate. I was shocking, actually. I've been off, haven't played in a couple of weeks, but I think Marty Banks came in, and yourself, Dagger, you got through 36 holes, and you went at home looking after the kids. So I think
Poor
Daz
Daisy.
was obviously a bit angry at you, mate. But no, it's always good to.
I told her I got a lesson, bro. You've ruined me, near.
You know, bro.
Hey, Brent.
No, good. Sorry, KT, mate. What was it?
Bro, so if your mindset playing against a guy such as TJ, who you know is going to chirp, what's your mindset going into playing against a guy like that?
No, it's always a great challenge, KT. I think, obviously he's played a lot of games and we've come through the system together actually, and he's a competitor, a great halfback, and whenever you get a chance to test yourself against a player like that, you want to give it all your all. So under no illusions, it's going to be a tough task, and one that I'm thoroughly looking forward to.
Hey, Brynna, here we go, both serious one from Dagger, but just looking forward to Saturday. What do you reckon's going to, what's going to take to win this game on Saturday? What are the little moments or things you're going to win? Yeah,
probably what you said, Dagger, moments, and being able to try win as many as you can. Look, I know that you're not going to win all your moments, and for us, it's been able to win more than them really. And we obviously know that come finals football, defense is a massive part around that, and no doubt in both camps, defense they've been probably alluding to defense wins championships. So defensively, barring up in that sense, and then winning crucial moments, whether that be on attack or defense.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us on the show, Brent. We really appreciate this, and all the best this weekend.
Thanks, Kirsty. Cheers, guys.
Thanks,
mate.
Well, it's no coincidence why the Crusaders have won 9 titles, heading towards their 10th title. They're unbeaten at home in 29 matches, but the last team to tip them up was, well, the Hurricanes. So we've got the last time they met, and you may recognise some faces.
McNichol was just outside him, and McNichol's got the ball, and he's into a space too. McNichol down, drops it. Giranara scrambles it away to Barrett. Holo now tries to sell the dummy, runs into Todd, through Todd, and over for the try. Oh, now there's a fight on, and it's a decent one as well. Punches being thrown, players coming from all over the place. Crusaders trying to rip it away, and they have. Oh, he's given it away to Barrett, and Barrett scores the try that seals a brilliant victory.
Holy moly, Israel, look at your hair. Those 2 clips.
How good, though, eh?
Oh, it's hissing now. It's unreal.
Hey, can
but
I
I'm
ask,
just
where were
saying.
you two in that fight? I didn't see you guys there in the all.
CJ was
Did you not
talking.
see me in there?
Nah.
I was undercut.
You're one of the forwards, mate.
Hey, get you, boy.
Brilliant. That was 2016.
Oh,
of course,
beauty.
the slate is wiped clean this weekend. But we're now heading towards our Hurricanes players. Back to the dartboard. Mills, you're up next. Remember all the numbers, they are jumbled up, so you read out who you've got.
Number 1.
Jersey number 1. Dane Coles is number 1. Well, we talked about it earlier, Dane Coles. It's a big matchup, isn't it, against Cody Taylor, CJ?
Yeah, and I think the way that these two guys like to play a little bit loose and good footwork and good passing, I reckon that's going to go out the window down here on Saturday, and they're going to go at each other, and it's going to be in the tight that the game's going to be won, and I think these guys are going to love it because they love doing a little bit of niggle too.
The thing I love about Coles, he loves that physical battle. He loves, especially when he plays against the South African team.
Absolutely.
As you heard Bryn say about defence, he'll get into that.
Defence, you're talking there, look at tackle success, 95%, 87% line-out success, but also 4 tries for good measure as well. It's crazy because probably 10 years ago we wouldn't have been talking about hookers like this, and now we talk about them every weekend.
No, and we constantly probably talking about their throwing, and I think that's probably going to be the crucial part because they both like the wide channels. So, but their set piece and how they sort of handle that, especially the throwing, would be one to watch.
OK, well, get up there, Izzy, because you're throwing next up. Let's see if you're as accurate as a hooker.
I'll go.
What number do you reckon?
Number 15.
15.
Oh, 10.
10? 10, number 10. 10, Gareth Evans. OK, so we always talk about Ardie Savea when it comes to the Hurricanes, but we've chosen someone else in his loose forward trio, someone who else needs to stand up and help him, Izzy.
Yeah, good Hawke's Bay lad. I had to get that in there. Sorry. Just had to. But, yeah, he's come back from injury and he complements Ardie well. He's good over the ball. He's a great jackler here. So going forward, the Crusaders have to really nail their breakdown this week, and being in the environment they spoke about that, it's going to be a huge key to winning that game.
He's been plagued by injury, as you mentioned. Last year he had such a standout year, including playing 1 test for the All Blacks.
Yeah, and I think him coming back and just finding that sort of flow in his game. I know, we talked about Ardie Savea, but he brings big moments. He wins big moments, and when you see him go around the ball, it's unexpected, and all of a sudden he comes out of nowhere and wins that big moments, and that's what you need in finals football.
Well, and he's up against a world-class player for the Crusaders as well. KT, who have you got? What number do you reckon?
180. 9.
189. Geordie Barrett. Number 9. OK. Question I have for you, CJ.
Yeah.
When someone in the midfield is injured earlier, Geordie would have filled in, but not this time. No Matt Proctor and Geordie's at 15. Why?
No, I think Geordie's been playing well at 15. So I know when Damien McKenzie went down, which is unfortunate, Geordie was struggling a little bit before then. A lot of errors. Didn't know if he was playing wing or fullback. And then as soon as he got injured, it's like he relaxed and started playing some really good rugby, running the ball well, creating opportunities, a lot of line breaks, kicking the ball well. And so now he's starting to get into form, which they need this weekend because it's a tough place to play down there in Christchurch.
We keep talking about head-to-heads, these battles, but there are so many of them, no more so than him going up against David Havili.
Yeah, and I think, too, people forget he was a starter against the Lions a couple of seasons ago, you know, so he's got that experience going forward, and he's already said he loves the fullback jersey, so I think having him in his favourite position in a big game like this, no-brainer.
OK, well, let's see if you can get a bullseye or what other number you're aiming for. This
number
is our
15.
8th and last. Lucky last.
I'm just going to go for the green around the bullseye. Job.
Where did
number
that
one.
go? Number 1. We've already had one.
go.
Another
Done
one.
number one.
Done now.
Another one.
15, bro.
No, Israel. I don't want 15. 14.
14.
I had that for a
OK,
long
who have
time.
we got? Nani Laumapi, number 14 in the midfield. He was a bit quieter than normal last week. How does that change this weekend? How does he get into it a bit more?
Well, he's just got to get the ball. CJ spoke about it at the start, just getting the ball off Beauden, giving Beauden time to get into positions where he can attack well. And yeah, previous games, the Crusaders have probably shut him down in games in those big games. So Nani's, he's going to be tough.
He needs to find a way to get himself into the game when the ball isn't coming his way or when he's not getting front foot ball. That's when he's unreal. So he needs to find a way to be relevant in the game.
He's got a rather young player playing next to him in Umaga Jensen. Does that have an impact on how Nani goes?
Oh, I mean, and last week as well, especially defensively, that first sort of try that the ball scored made a sort of error at Umaga Jensen. So, I mean, voice, he's always been asked to have voice in there. So, Laumapi needs to really bring that, this week. But dangerous because he had such a quiet game last week.
Very dangerous, that's for sure. He always is. Righto, it is time for the expert opinion. Since KT is back, we thought we'd give it to him. So what have you got?
Oh, I really love it. You know, like we've already spoken about the Crusaders, 29 on the trot, the smash the Canes in finals football. But the last time the Crusaders lost, as we saw, was v the Canes. The Canes got nothing to lose. They win this weekend. Put 20 on it.
Oh.
Get that in you.
20, is it?
Well, I hope the camera just his face.
I agree with the Canes winning. The nothing to lose. Well, they've got a game to lose, haven't they? There's something to lose, obviously, but I agree that the Canes...
A final, Super Rugby final to lose, but...
Well, it's a semi-final.
Oh, yeah, but they're getting to the final. There's still tickets
Silly
for
kids.
the semi-final this week. At ticketrocket.co.nz. 7 p.m. we are live on Saturday. Don't forget that. There's semi-finals for Super Rugby, but there's also international rugby as well. Our Black Fern women's are up against Canada in the San Diego Super Series. Now, there's 4 debutants in that match, and one who is playing very well at the moment is Pia Tapsell. Young, just 20 years of age, playing in a vital position, number 8, but she's played so well for Bay of Plenty and for North Harbour as well, KT.
Yeah, I mean, great opportunity. I mean, these blokes will know better than most what it's like to have your first jersey in your colours. I mean, it's got to be a mind-blowing experience for her.
Oh, mate, special moment. We're representing your country, getting your debut. She'll have a lot of nerves going into this game, but I'll just say to her, it's just like any other game. You're playing for the bop. You just represent your country, just go out there and have fun and enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Well, that game is live on Sky Sport 1 on Saturday at 10:50. Tune in. Now, we've had a game that we've been playing in Kick-Off After Dark. It's called The Shocker, and we're bringing it back. If you can set that up.
silly game.
CJ.
Silly game.
As the boys are going to be asked some quiz questions. They'll also be getting
Israel.
shocked by the machine on the table as they
You just got
play.
to wait until the question.
OK.
No, green.
You want to hear the
Hey.
questions? First
Hey,
question?
yes.
Oh,
Okay.
go. Question.
How many times have New Zealand teams not been represented in a Super Rugby final?
Twice.
4.
Keep going.
5. Oh, you...
No. No.
7.
4, 3.
3. Izzy.
3.
Izzy.
Thank you.
Okay.
You said keep going.
Which team holds the record for the most consecutive Super Rugby finals appearances?
Yeah,
Crusaders. Watch
Bells.
team.
Oh, how come I the one getting shocked?
I said I'm not getting anything.
Okay.
I'll just keep pushing it.
What do honeybees collect?
No. Pollen.
I said pollen.
Pollen, Izzy.
Pollen, yeah.
Oh, you didn't say pollen.
How many months have 28 days in them?
3.
1. February.
4.
February.
5. 2.
February.
2.
How many months
1.
have 28 days in them?
Oh,
February.
None.
No, one. None.
All of them. They've all got 28 days.
That's stupid.
Okay.
That's silly.
Which players holds the record for the most drop goals in a single Super Rugby fixture?
Dan
Pollard.
Carter.
No.
Which one did you say no to?
He's from South
As a
Africa.
South African, yeah.
Yeah.
Stain.
Mornay Stain.
Mels.
Nah.
Mornay Stain. Excluding New Zealanders, who has the most Super Rugby caps?
Smith.
Australian.
George Smith.
No.
Steve Moore.
More.
As a Stephen Moore.
You get zapped for that.
What do you sit on, sleep in, and brush your teeth with?
Bed. Oh, tooth. Oh.
Your bum.
What do you sit?
What?
What do you sit on, sleep in,
Cushion.
and brush
Your
your
hand.
teeth with?
Brush. No.
A chair, a bed, and a toothbrush. We'll give that
comes
to
up
no
with
one.
these questions?
Izzy gets 3 right and wins that. What a fantastic
Well, how
show.
many
What
shots?
a big team announcement. It's happening 7 a.m. on Tuesday. We'll see you next week from Eden Rugby Club.
Bye now.